The MrBeast scandals just get worse and worse by the day, and today we're going to be going through all of the latest stuff to get you up to speed with everything that we know so far. So yesterday, at the time of recording, Dogpack404, who is an ex-employee by the name of Dawson, who worked for MrBeast back in 2019, I believe, and between period of 2019-2020, basically has created two videos to expose MrBeast. His first video with 12 million views posted 2 weeks ago, I work for MrBeast, he's a fraud, basically spoke about how MrBeast does illegal lotteries, fakes his content, there's some very shady business that goes on, the giveaways don't actually happen, even though MrBeast promises all of these things. And it was a reality shock for a lot of people across the internet, and you can tell because of the amount of attention that it has gained. And then yesterday, Dogpack404 followed up that insanely popular video with a video saying, I work for MrBeast, he's a sociopath, which has now got 8.1 million views in a day, which, insanity. But that video went on to talk about more serious allegations that go on behind the scenes with pedophiles basically working for MrBeast, or PDF files, if you will, and how there's a lot of scandalous behaviour that goes on behind the scenes, and he has promised a part 3. Now, off the back of this, in this video, he interviewed Jake Weddle, who of course was a part of the MrBeast crew between 2019, 2020, and then did some other stuff in 2021, like a video where he did the solitary confinement. And he has created his own video to explain the entire situation over on his YouTube channel as well since this. But another big thing that happened in there was a person who was named, called Delaware. The reason, apparently, Dogpack said that this person was called Delaware is because they are a registered sex offender, and they are on the register. And they are not allowed to go back to Delaware, apparently. Now, there's been a lot of, people pieced a lot of stuff together about this person. And the controversy obviously got so bad that Jake the Viking, who of course is also an ex-employee of MrBeast, had to come forward to state that here's the truth. Yes, Delaware is my brother-in-law. Yes, he is a registered SO. When he was 21, a 16-year-old girl accused him of others of SA when she was 11. Delaware took a plea deal. That's why there was no jail time, but he still had to register. Now, I'm not being funny. Jake here does... this is what frustrates me about Jake the Viking, right? He has been all over social media recently, slating MrBeast at any given opportunity. Any opportunity whatsoever, he's gone, MrBeast new, Jimmy downfall, I hate MrBeast, all the rest of it, right? It's bad, it's awful, and his Twitter page is flooded with this stuff. But now, there's been some accusations made against his brother-in-law, and he's now got his tail between his legs, and he's had to come cap in hand to the internet and go, yeah, this was my brother-in-law, MrBeast knew, and that, it's very hypocritical and hugely disappointing, because I was Team Jake the Viking until this. Not that it was him personally that's done this, but, as someone who's like, yeah, MrBeast knew about all of these PDF files and, people working in his company, when Jake knew as well, because it was his brother-in-law. Anyway, another thing as well that doesn't make sense here is talking about accusations. Yeah, if it was just an accusation, then why did your brother-in-law take a plea deal? I mean, surely if it was just an accusation that was unfounded and not true, you wouldn't take a plea deal and you wouldn't get a sentence and you wouldn't go on... I wouldn't go on a registered, SO register if it was just accusations that I knew weren't true. I'm not having my name tarnished like that. So there must have been something more to it. His nickname isn't Delaware because he can't go back to Delaware. He's from Delaware. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He's been back several times, so debunking that claim right there. He was hired before I was, and was actually the reason I got hired at MrBeast. Before being hired, Delaware sat down with Jimmy and Sue, Jimmy's mum, and explained to them everything. So yes, Jimmy knew. So MrBeast was very well aware that this was a registered SO. But again, this incident happened in 2010. Delaware was hired in 2017/2018. Delaware was also let go from the company before I was. Delaware was supposed to be behind the scenes manager, but in a couple of videos he was asked to partake because they needed people. He was reluctant, especially in the straitjacket video, because of his charges, and that's why he wore the mask. So, you know, basically there was accusations made by Dogpack 404 as to why would someone who's on a registered SO want to wear a mask, maybe to hide their identity, but Jake the Viking says otherwise. Delaware's charges are set to be dropped this fall. Delaware has been nothing but a good person, an amazing husband to my sister, and the best father to my 2 nieces that I could ever ask for. They want no part in this and want to just live their lives away from the limelight. I think it's a bit late for that. I understand why anyone would be upset and frustrated over these allegations, and I do not blame them. Hurting kids in any way is completely unacceptable. But in this case, Delaware, I firmly believe he did nothing wrong, and I look forward to the day these charges are dropped. Thank you. Now, again, if he's done nothing wrong, then why was there a plea deal? Why is he on the register? You know, it begs a big question, doesn't it? It begs a big question. But the comments section have been less than positive. Somebody just sent me this. I know. Nah, laughing my ass off. This MF was on MrBeast Ask Daily to find out he kept this secret. Laughing my ass off. I cannot. Did you think this was a good response? It doesn't matter what he did or didn't do. He's on the list and getting hired by a company that makes content directed towards children. How could MrBeast let this happen? So your brother has been it should be brother-in-law, has been confirmed to be an offender for over a decade now, and you just decided to speak on it. The silence really is deafening. Jake Franklin, no. It is. It's the fact that he was sat on this information. You know, he was more than willing to frontline Jimmy and MrBeast and the whole brand to be dragged through the mud for these allegations, stating Jimmy knew, the silence is deafening. When he was sat on this information is the most two-faced thing I think I've ever seen. And Jake Franklin, Jake the Viking, has lost all credibility in any capacity about this situation. He cannot speak about this accusation or these allegations again publicly without getting slated. There's no way, because, you know, how can you sit on this information whilst slating MrBeast? You know? Your brother-in-law was the instigator behind a lot of this stuff. He was the front line of a lot of this stuff. Regardless of whether he was guilty or not guilty, he's a registered SO. He's on the register. That should be enough. Yes, MrBeast should probably never have hired him. You know, of course, I believe completely and wholeheartedly on rehabilitation. I think that everyone deserves second chances. But maybe just, it's like going into a school and hiring someone who's a registered SO for underage minors and giving them a job teaching minors and being around minors daily. It just can't happen. Just can't. There should have been some better due diligence from MrBeast there. But it doesn't stop there, as over on Twitter or on Instagram, MrBeast's ex-girlfriend has also spoken out about the situation in a very cryptic way. I've spent years being quiet, never acknowledging that time in my life, just quietly cheering on those who I saw mistreated. I don't want drama. I don't want anything. I just want to speak up for my 19-year-old self. 19 to 21 are formative years, and as a young woman, it impacted the way I saw myself, the way I interpreted my future, and how I trusted men. There was no user manual. Gotta get your words out, man. There was no instructions on how to deal with the gaining a following quickly. No cheat sheet on dating someone famous. I did the best I could, but I was not okay. Months of therapy, so many journal entries, long talks with my mum. Why do I still feel like it was all for nothing? I believe I should be used as a cautionary tale. If someone is too good to be true, it probably is. How he treated other women will ultimately be how he treats you. You are smart, beautiful, and capable of a career, life, and relationship you are proud of. I do not aim to take anyone down, just simply and explicitly tell you that there are scary people out there. People will hurt you, use you, spit you out, and then tell you it's your fault. It's all of our jobs to protect our friends, our mums, our wives, our sisters, our daughters, ourselves from people like that. If you see something not cool, speak up. And then said, at YouTube, you need to reevaluate who you're putting on the trending page. Arguably one of the most cryptic things to come out of this entire situation. Obviously, accusing Jimmy of something. What that is, I don't know. She clearly states they're mistreating other people, alludes to being mistreated herself, but doesn't go into detail on the situation. It's weird. It's really weird. And obviously to then caveat that on the next page, saying YouTube, you need to reevaluate who you're putting on your trending page, of course, directly impacts MrBeast. Obviously, we're looking at MrBeast here. He's all over the For You pages of, he is YouTube's golden boy. He is the face of YouTube. So, you know, again though, looking through it, it's kind of talking about who I saw mistreated, alleges MrBeast has mistreated other people. Talking about how when she was 19, she clearly went through some traumatic things with Jimmy. It's clearly affected how she trusts and looks at men. No user manual on being famous or dating someone famous. You know, whether that was basically not being able to speak out because of public image for MrBeast, I don't know. Months of therapy, so clearly whatever happened was quite traumatic, enough to need months of therapy, journal entries, and long talks with her mother. You know, I don't know. A lot of people are just commenting, like, you know, just there's a lot of people who that was just a lot of words for nothing. I agree to a degree. I would love to know more details about this situation, but what do you guys think of this entire thing? There it is though, me keeping you up to date with all of the latest MrBeast scandalous drama. If you have gone on to enjoy or have found this video informative, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tick on my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload to the channel, and until next time guys, I hope you have enjoyed, can't wait to see you in the next one, and I'll speak to you later. Peace.